It's loud. Doing a little ripping with the 8430. The neat goal out here is we're just buttoning it up. Some of these fields, you can see it's been plowed right there. I ripped a little bit on the hill there in the middle. I think he was gonna. I ripped a little bit there. It looks a lot more residue-y than it actually is when you're driving on it. This thing does a pretty good job. It's got some covering boards, but the only thing is it doesn't have front discs to help mulch up when you get a lot of residue to go through. So it's kind of a trade-off. I'm just kind of rattling away here. We got that pin coming for the big Will Ridge 7 shank. Probably could have tightened it up, ran it today, but this had to get done. Button these fields up, so we ordered that. It'll be in the morning. Put that back together. We'll be able to get that one rolling. And if we have enough manpower, we have 3 tillage rigs rolling. But boy, it is dry. We are burning through the ripper points and the plow blades like crazy. Just walking around this thing this morning. The ground is so hard. Just beating things up. I think it got ran for maybe 4 hours last night. I don't know how long that guy worked. There was one broken shear bolt that wasn't all the way out, but half of the bolt was broken off, so I just put a new one in. And maybe you can see here, they have a little tab up there that kind of holds them. 2 of them, they've broken out. They're resting down. Missing it there. Yeah, we had just moved out here to do, I don't remember, on the other side of the interstate to do about 250 acres or whatever, and back to the bins to do some fixing and welding. Poor thing, it seems like the ground is just so dry that it's just taken a way more of a beating than normal this year. So we got a tab missing up there and on the end unit. We're gonna try to weld something in there. I can't remember for sure. I'm trying to remember. I think it basically makes it, I had my morning banana on the way in, where it can't trip as easy, or these will not trip as easy when they're down and straight like that versus, I don't know, I can't remember. I think that's something like that. So what happens is this one's kind of starting to do it. You can see how that's starting to get wider, and it just completely implodes and it's wearing into here. So we have to address it. We can't just keep going. Another morning inspection was this new pin here. When I was greasing it, I noticed that nut was backed way out to the point where there was only about treads on half of the nut. So that was about to come out. Granted, that pin was still, it was only backed out a little bit, but you know, you lose that, you're gonna have a bad day for sure. So we got that addressed. And we're gonna try to keep going here. Well, we are going back and forth for about the last 4 hours now. And some smaller odd-shaped fields and whatnot, but he's over there in the next field over in the 8430 with that DMI ripper, doing some of the short, weird-shaped ones, so it's not so awkward for this big rig. We're getting quite a bit done here. Chews it up nicely. Good morning to the 8970. Warming up, time to grease. I love these lock and lube ends of the grease gun, especially if you have ones that are hard to take. When you're by yourself, you click it on and you can switch it to pressure mode, and usually you can get grease in about anything you need to. Crawling underneath greasing. See the problem? That one's gone. Must have taken a good hit or something, but the bolt's sheared off. We'll have to see if we can find that part. After calling about 5 or 6 dealers, we found it about 45 minutes away, 40 minutes away maybe. But you know, there is 6 of them across the works there, but if you hit something else, there's more stress on that, it comes apart. You can see we've already had that rebuilt, had issues there. So yeah, it was a good find. It pays to crawl around it and grease it in the morning. One of the 2 bolts that hold that on. Yeah, clean break. The ground is so hard, and out here it's just rolling hills and little ditches and stuff, so it's hard on it. It's especially hard on the rippers, so it is what it is. There's no rain in the forecast for another week and a half, and at best it's like a 40% chance that day. We had that yesterday, and I could count the drops that came down. Is what it is. Still grease in here, putting some fuel. About 3/4 of a tank. I'm probably gonna stop it there because by the time we get this thing fixed, I want to put some in the 8430 over there too. I was just counting them because I'm like, boy, this is taking a while. I think there's 40 Zerks between all the gangs up front, the 4 sections. I think there's a good 20 on the lift wheels and the arm that it pivots on. And I think I counted 35 across all the 7 shanks there. And then there's a couple miscellaneous just mechanisms that move up here on the hitch. I would say there is over 100 Zerks on this thing. So it takes a little while to grease. Really should have a Milwaukee or DeWalt or whatever grease gun, power grease gun. Well, we're back in order. They didn't have the 6-inch bolt, they had the 8-inch bolts, and we will make that work to get us going. You know what that means? Ripping's done, pins pulled. I grabbed the snowblower while I was back here before I boxed that in.